Calling this meeting of the Utility Services Board to start. So before we move on with business, we need to make a slight amendment to the agenda. We need to add one item, and that is under approval of minutes. In addition to the January 27th minutes, we want to add the January 21st minutes, which will be item 2A, and then the 27th minutes will be item 2B. And then we also need to remove item 3A, the payable invoices, because we don't have any. So is there any discussion about that? All right, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda.
I'll move.
Huh?
Aren't these payable invoices?
Those are the standard invoices.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the agenda is amended. Okay, so first item is approval of the January 21st minutes. Is there any changes to the minutes? Any discussion? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion for approval of January 21st minutes.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of the minutes of the January 27th meeting. Any additions or questions about that? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, those minutes are approved. Very good. Moving on to standard invoices in the amount of $948,349.77. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, do I have a motion for approval of the standard invoices?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Next, we have the utility bills in the amount of $85,778.05. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, do I have a motion for approval of the utility bills?
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, utility bills are approved. Next up, wire transfers, fees, and payroll in the amount of $371,419.04. Any questions about the wire transfers? Hearing none, do I have a motion for approval of the wire transfers?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, they are approved. Finally, we have customer refunds in the amount of $22.33. Do we have any questions on that? All right, do I have a motion for approval of the refunds?
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, refunds are approved. Okay, moving on, we have the consent agenda. Vic?
Good evening. We have 6 items on the consent agenda, all recommended by staff for approval. The first is commercial service of Bloomington for $6,000 a year. It's on-call contracting work. In fact, Xylem Water Solutions, $20,000 a year for on-call water pump contracting work. Toric Engineering for $20,000 a year for on-call control panel repair work. Electrical maintenance, $8,000 a year for on-call electrical maintenance work. Lane Christensen Company is $6,000 a year on-call electrical maintenance work, and Crane One, $5,500 preventive maintenance and inspections for hoists and cranes. Does any board member wish to take any of these up separately? Hearing none, if there's no opposition, the consent agenda will be approved as recommended by staff. Hearing no opposition, the consent agenda is approved.
Thank you very much. All right, next item is requesting approval of Resolution 2020-01, the I-69 Utility Relocation Project. And Jane Fleet is going to tell us about that.
Yes. The resolution itself and the recommendation from our consulting engineer are in the packet. The resolution indicates that we opened bids on this on January 21st. We had 4 bids that were open and read aloud. The bids have all been reviewed by our engineer and our staff, and we are recommending that we believe that Reynolds Construction of Indiana is the most responsive and responsible, and we recommend that the award be made to Reynolds for the base bid, as well as mandatory bid alternate number 2 and mandatory bid alternate number 3. So we are requesting your permission for that. There is a document, as I stated in your packet, that indicates how the bids came in. It tabulates it all if you have interest, but ultimately, we're just looking for a resolution at this point and hope to be able to come back to you in 2 weeks' time with the contract for approval.
Okay, do we have any questions on this?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do we all have to sign this? Because it looks like we do.
I am looking
in
at
the
that
package.
right now. I'm trying to find that because I think we do. We do all have to sign off on this. Okay, yep, got it.
And I was just wondering on the alt bid 1, it's got a, no cost there. And that's why you said 2 and 3 are approved?
That is correct. Actually, the bids were received for alternate bid 1. We have determined that it is not in our best interest and cost-effective at this point in time to award alternate bid 1. It is, it's the sanitary sewer line that goes under Bloomfield Road on the east side of I-69. It was replaced 30 years ago, so it's a newer PVC pipe. The idea was to line this pipe at this time because of its depth. But the costs that came in, we felt were not appropriate, and it is something that we've chosen not to move forward with.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, Amanda.
I have a question about in the letter, the 4th paragraph. It talks about it reserving a construction contingency of 7.5%. But is it outlined in here?
In the summary, the
Yes.
last page, it is in there under the very last section.
Oh, there okay.
Yep.
The last
Construction.
item on the last
Yep,
page,
yep.
okay.
Construction
I couldn't find it.
contingency. Often that's between 5 and 10%, so this is an average.
Okay.
It's a fairly large project, so it is wise to keep some contingency money on hand just in case.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Any other questions? All right, then, hearing none, I would entertain a moval to approve this resolution. 20, all right, and
Second?
all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the resolution is approved. Thank you. All right, next up, we have a request for approval of Resolution 2020-02, the Sewer Rehabilitation Project, and we have Phil Peden.
Thank you, Phil Peden Engineering. This is for the 2019-2020 Sewer Rehabilitation Project, to repeat what you just said. And we have received the bid tabulation from our engineer, George Lewis with GRW, and you can see the numbers there. We opened the bids at the last board meeting, and he provided a recommendation to award to Miller Pipeline, who was the responsive low bidder. And so I'd request that we could approve that and then move forward with a contract in 2 weeks.
Okay. And are there any questions for Phil? We all good? All right, then do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the resolution is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. And I'm going to let you start signing. Okay. Next, we have, is there any old business from the board? Or any old business from staff? Any new business from the board? new business from staff? Okay, then we have subcommittee reports from the Finance Committee. Amanda.
So the subcommittee met this afternoon prior to this meeting. We reviewed the documentation and numbers, the numbers have been provided with a summary to you folks of where we have been with the interdepartmental agreement with the city of Bloomington. We reviewed and approved the subcommittee recommendations for both the 2018 and 2019 interdepartmental memos. Per board request, they did do a time study evaluation on the various services that are being used and allocated to percentages allocated to CBU, and all looked good and fair. So I don't know if Laura has anything that you want to add to that, or if the board has any questions.
Yeah, so we completed the time study. The controller's office spearheaded that initiative. We didn't see any substantial changes to the breakout in general services. We were able to calculate some chargeback costs, which we had not done before, for the sanitation billing. So we were able to get some credit on our interdepartmental from that. And you can see that reflected in the Exhibit A on both the 2018 and the 2019 agreements. I don't know if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Yes.
I would just, Jason, sorry.
Sorry, I was not at the subcommittee meeting, so this was probably asked. I just did some quick math, and it looks like the average increase has been about 8% a year, which is not insignificant.
Right.
So what would you attribute most of the increase to?
That's very, very good. We have seen significant increases with health insurance. We've added additional staff, so that's increased not just our payroll, but also health insurance and all the other parts. We had a significant increase in our risk management work, what was it, insurance? Workers' comp.
Yeah.
That was a big ticket increase. And then we've been busier, so we've been utilizing more services. Other departments as well have gotten bigger, and so since we pay a percentage, those numbers have gone up as well.
Okay.
And fleet has gone up.
Yeah.
Everything's gone up, except for, what was the one thing, ESD, which is, what is it? An
Economic and
Sustainable development. Thank you. Yes.
So on the memo, the in lieu of taxes figures
Yes.
don't vary between the 2 years for
That's-
some reason?
And I apologize, I didn't point that out. For 2019, we haven't, we don't have the numbers yet for the 2019 taxes. So we'll make that adjustment once we get those figures.
And then the expenses for the billing get subtracted off of the total
Yes.
agreement amount on the spreadsheet?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's why you see it at negative 100%, so that it subtracts it out. Oh, it's not on that spreadsheet, I apologize.
Oh, I was gonna say.
And you should have received in your packet the Exhibit A, and it's
Okay.
all broken out there. There's a big workbook. It has not just the summary pages, but the time study information as well. So you can dig into it if you really want to look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, then I guess we'll entertain a motion for approval of the 2018 interdepartmental agreement.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. And second, I will entertain a motion for approval of the 2019 interdepartmental agreement.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, both agreements are approved. All right, next is staff reports.
This evening, I have just a few items. The first two have to do with art. As you know, about a year ago, we received 4 paintings from Ben Pines that have been hanging in our lobby. They were all inspired by visits to our facilities, and they've been a real pleasure to have in the lobby. But tonight is the last day for those because we have new paintings going up by Dawn Adams. Dawn will be here for a short reception after this meeting out in the CBU lobby. I'd like to thank Ben on behalf of all of us here at CBU for having his artwork displayed in our lobby and for the pleasure of our employees and the public who come to visit us. So thanks so much to Ben, and we'll look forward to meeting Dawn in a few minutes. The next one is, I've been keeping you up to date on the Griffey item. I believe we're in the home stretch of getting a bid package together for the demolition. We're still hoping to be able to begin that in April when things dry out a little bit. And then the last thing is we're going to be scheduling a board retreat as we have the last couple of years. So Latrina will be reaching out to each of you to see what times we might be able to make that happen.
Approximately when?
Perhaps later this month or sometime in March. Right. Just got a number of things going on, including discussions of the upcoming rate review for water. And that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any petitions and communications from the public?
My name is Maggie Sullivan. I was recently hired by Friends of Lake Monroe as watershed coordinator to write a watershed management plan for the lake under the funding from the 319 grant that you helped support. And I just came to introduce myself and thank you for your support of the project. I'm happy to come and give presentations whenever you like, but I also respect you guys run very efficient meetings. I like that. We're wrapping up the first quarter now. We've done a couple public forums, gotten a lot of citizen input. We're compiling a lot of existing information, and we're gearing up for starting sampling in March. IUSB is going to be doing that part of it. We'll be having a blitz April 24th, where we're trying to recruit about 100 volunteers to collect samples from streams throughout the watershed. And I will be driving around most of the next month, making observations in the field, seeing what those streams look like, looking for signs of erosion, water quality issues, just seeing what's out there. So thank you again for your support of the project. And if you ever want information, I'm happy to talk to you individually or come and give a presentation.
Okay.
Could we put her on the agenda?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to have you come back and speak to us formally on the agenda.
Sounds great.
That
Thank
would be
you.
wonderful. All right, thank you. Any other petitions or communications? Okay, then do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
We are adjourned.